I am Butterfly Goddess, your spiritual guidance messenger. How are we doing today, collective? It took me forever to get this new phone up and rolling. I had to re-download all the stuff, re-log into certain apps, and I still haven't gotten into all of them, but I manifested that new phone. So, baby, if this video stops, then that's something else. That's something else working from the other side altogether. So, yeah, this message today really is about what we do see, but we can't believe we're seeing it, and sometimes we're unaware of things that are going on around us, but we see it, but we don't say anything. So you can have somebody in your energy right now suffering really bad from some type of anxiety, and I feel like we feel so deeply with our emotions as these beings. You know what I'm saying? We feel so deeply that sometimes we're unable to really assist people with their anxiety because we feel their anxieties. And sometimes when we feel other people's emotions, we kind of run from them. You know what I'm saying? You want to just be like, ooh, I don't want to deal with that. Not today. Not today. Ooh, and we just have these assumptions that they can work it out themselves. They're gonna see it through. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times that's not the case. That's really not the scenario. And for some of you, I'm speaking directly to you about the man or the woman that you're loving on. They are going through something right now. And yeah, you can take it personal if you choose to, but sometimes everything isn't really about you. And I know there's a lot of couples out there that have the biggest and the hardest times communicating or understanding each other or understanding each other. Like I say, me and mine is night and day. Sometimes we're saying the same exact things, but our ears are hearing it totally different. And it puts such a strain on everything because now I feel like you're not listening. That means that person probably feels like you're not listening. I say this to say that we get so caught up in our own discretions that we can't cope for anybody else. And sometimes it it could take a journey, a circle. It could take a lot. I find it easier to hear something from a stranger than I do my loved ones sometimes. Sometimes you have to have a outside source really say, this is what I see. Some people can take certain criticisms from other people, but not from the ones that love them. And that's a hard fucking pill to swallow. That's funny because passive aggression comes up next out that deck. And that's when I feel like everybody gets to pointing the fingers like, it's your fault, it's their fault, it's this fault. And really, it could be medical. So it could be something with the mental. It could be something with the physical. It could be something, anything medical, physical, emotional. Is something within, something maybe you can't even really fix the problem, but you see it and you don't know how to say, hey, I think you need to see somebody about it because they're going to get offended. Because, people like to call me crazy. Like, you really a psychic medium? Girl, you don't think you crazy? Well, that I'm going to leave that for you because I don't think anything wrong with me. I feel like something wrong with y'all. So this is my norm. I act like this all the time since the day I got here, baby. I've been a marching band the whole time. But I feel like a lot of the times the truth appears through silence instead of words. So somebody could be doing and giving you the silent treatment right now, and I really feel like this person is blaming you for their problems, or her, or it's a collective reading. But like you said, your body, like I said, your body could sense when something is off. And that person could sense when something is off. But some people, men mostly, y'all do not acknowledge when something is really wrong. I think y'all just waking up and having a bad day. But if you having too many bad days, then something's wrong. Okay? Yeah, it's a lot of things going on with this reading. When I say that some of us are so aware of our surroundings that we can see things so deeply that it almost hurts us because we know that we can't, a lot of us won't say the quiet parts out loud because You know, sometimes people can't handle the truth. And sometimes this is why, like, a lot of relationships go through so many damn cycles, because we spend more time not wanting to say what's needed to be said than actually saying it. And a lot of the times, you got people out here just putting on an act because they don't know what else to do. They don't want to lose you. They're going to put on an act for you. They're going to act like everything is fine. You know, they so busy trying to please you that's the problem. They need to learn to please themselves, because like I said, if you don't even practice self-care in a relationship, you can't find no damn love for nobody else if you definitely ain't loving on yourself or giving yourself some grief. You know, grace, some grace period, some time, some healing options. You know, we work, we work, we got the kids, we got the household stuff, natural life is affecting us, we got people messaging us, people pulling you over here, people pulling you over there. You got to pull yourself back, and you got to stand in some shit and be like, no, I can't do it today. And I know a lot of us, because me, I'm big on this. When I don't feel good and I don't really want to be bothered, I just don't come out my room. I literally do not come out my room, because baby, that something about not wanting to give people the experiences that they've given me doesn't, you know, sits in my spirit. So if I'm not feeling good, I don't want to be out in the world lashing out on people, giving them false sense of hope and pride. But sometimes, you know, you have that, like me, I have that, you know, where I can have a bad day and still be complimenting you and giving you all the energy that I have left, because I don't want you to be hurt the way I'm hurting type feeling. So you have that. But like I said, sometimes we have to be strong enough to care for our other person in ourselves to have that conversation. You know, to have that conversation, to start that conversation, or to find somebody to have that conversation with them in light of listening. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the truth coming from you gonna hurt way more than it coming from somebody who I don't know. People admire the wrong people for all the right reasons sometimes, and all the wrong reasons other times. However, I find it when I tell my husband something, it's in one ear and out the other, but then let the person down the street say the exact same shit. Oh, that was a good idea, you know? And I feel like sometimes when that happens, it puts me in a bad headspace, like, what the fuck? But sometimes I think it's the delivery, and maybe he only hears me saying it in a harsh way, where it feels like it's a punishment more than a thought of care. So some of you guys are coming into such a bright spiritual journey of lesson, a circle of meeting of minds of some sort, something with, you know, river of destiny, something destined for you is coming up. I feel like your heart has been on this trailway for so long, you know, and yeah, it's a lot of breakups going on in there, and it's a lot of reunions going on in there. But it's about having the conversation and understanding that every loss isn't a loss. Sometimes everybody isn't supposed to be conjoined together at the hip. You might not be the person that's right for that person. You might be the person that's, you know, that person might be for someone else. I was married to a man who really was another woman's man. That man wasn't for me. So, you know, sometimes you have to close chapters in an easy way to where people don't feel like you're just dropping them off, but letting them go in a sense of love, because you know it's not going to work out. So something that message just came out of no effing where. Oh my God. I know a lot of us do that. This card is just flipped up like this, y'all. Second guessing ourselves. Sometimes we second guess ourselves, you know, fear of the next journey, the move on, the move around, wow, that time we put in, you know, that's what I heard. People don't like to give up that time they put in, you know, that it feels like an investment of heart and hardships and just trying to pull it through. But sometimes to death do us part don't really mean that, because you might be actually dying for staying with that person. So damn, I felt that whole heavily. And I like I said, I think people be scared to say things from fear of conflict, fear of violence, fear, you know, just fear, period. You know, we fear what we don't know about people and how they're going to react in their actions. And, you know, maybe it'll take time, you know. Yeah. Wow. That's wow. That's wild. This card came out talking about future faking. You don't want to live a whole life with somebody who's really going to fake it until they make it just to be with you, because you know some people hold on, you know, because you're the security. You're the blanket. You're the blanket. Wow, that's crazy. I feel like this message is really given right now. It's really given, and every fucking card is like on point. The insecurities, the security blanket, the child mind like state that this person could be in around you, like never feeling abandonment. And like I said, there's that, you know, there's a lot of that. And not only that, but feeling like you're punishing them for some reason, feeling like you're giving them some type of behavioral you know, punishment. So there's that. Oh my God, wow. And trauma bond, shut up, these cards are kicking my butt. The trauma bond, some of us are trauma bonded to each other. Some of us are in relationships where we are trauma bonded. Oh my word, I cannot make this shit up. See, sometimes we have that moment of clarity and we get scared and we don't want to move on because we're just trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? I know this person isn't going to point out my stuff and I'm not going to point out their stuff, because guess what? We accepted our stuff. That's crazy. That's crazy work. When I tell you that's crazy work, I love how spirit just kind of flows the messages through me, and then it gets kind of touchy, a little touchy, because I'm like, boo, hold on, is y'all talking about me? Is y'all talking about me? Because baby, show up. Don't show up like that, but just give me a minute, let me catch my breath. Yes, I mean, I'm gonna pull another card from this deck, because I don't know, I don't even think I've finished with it. Like I said, I feel like it's a lot of people right now having to look at their situation and they're saying, you know, I just realized that this isn't it. This can't be it for me. You know, this can't be the end all be all, you know. And like I said, not everybody is going through that process. Maybe this person really does need some type of services to where they just don't know it and they can get the help, and that changes the situation and it improves. So don't look at it just that way. But then there's the other part of the collective where I'm really just seeing that you need to go on ahead and move on, because baby, it's not gonna get better, it's just gonna get worse. And you don't want to be out there for better or for worse and still trying to take the ring and saying the I do's and having to come out in the end with, baby, it came right on back to that card, future faking. You just don't want to be faking. You don't want to fake no marriage, no relationship, no love life, no nothing, baby. That is the most horrible, horrible, horrible feeling. At the bottom of the jet, you got to be choosing yourself. And everybody in this situation, whether it's you that need to be the person leaving or the person that needs to be leaving, if you're watching this, you need to go, I mean, take a bow, bow out. You know, sometimes everything isn't for you, and yeah, maybe we're gonna suffer some losses, maybe, you know, it's gonna be some things, but those are things. Material things do not go with you to the next life. They just don't. Some things have to go back. Some things have to be put back into perspective. You know, you get an opportunity to come back around to that. Like I said, your heart is more important, and something about your heart is really questionable in here, because some of you guys are on the verge, you know, of having some kind of heart problems. If you're gonna continue to play with your heart like that, you know, don't do that. You know, it's just what it is. I'm gonna pull one more card. And like I said, you're destined to be in a fucking group, or why am I cussing? Okay, they're getting upset. You're destined to be in a very guided relationship with someone who's very much like-minded spiritually. For whoever's out there spiritual, that was specific. You're getting guided from the universe, and I feel like they're haunting you. they're taunting you. I don't know, I heard something, and I feel like they're gonna keep pointing this out until you understand that it's not you, it's not him, it's not her, sir, it's not you. You know, it's one of those things where you just, sometimes we get together with people and we realize, you know, it was for the moment. Sometimes everything's a lesson, sometimes it's a blessing, however that saying goes. But yeah, sometimes, ooh, yeah, that card wanted to come out, but I didn't even see how it dropped, y'all. I'm gonna pull both of them. The one that fell here. Okay, so some of you guys have some gifts coming in from your spirit guides on the other side and your ancestors. And yep, like I said, living in the moment. Sometimes some things is just for the moment. You know, it's momentarily. You know, it's not. It wasn't meant to ever be more than just that. You know, it takes me back to my saying when my grandma, my granny was alive. I'm like, Granny, he was a one night stand for a reason. He was a one night stand for a reason, and I think. Okay, so not only are you getting gifts from the universe and blessed from the universe, but they just want you to be aware that they need you to enjoy these gifts. And I don't think you can fully enjoy these things with this specific person because of how needy they are, and you know how they I don't know, they it's given like a grown child, you know, needing you, but like, yeah, it's wild. It's just wild hundreds right now. So yeah, the message is definitely coming through in that specific way. And I honestly, at this point, I feel like they're saying it's going to happen either way, whether you have that conversation or they just move shit around. Because you know, honestly, I feel like at this point they've been moving shit around, because I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, merge and beyond time. Yeah, they moving shit around. And so they're saying, you know, what the fuck I say, I can't make this shit up, a shift in your perspective. They're moving shit around. Either you doing you damn it, don't y'all be over there causing breakups. They causing a shift in the situation. That you don't want to shift, they gonna shift. They gonna shift for you. So this could be very significant. Somebody could be driving a stick shift right now in this relationship, and they done already shifted the gears for you. They done already pointed out to you at a red light. Lights are blinking. Something is pointing out. I seen 444 earlier, and I keep seeing like these lights. It's like lights, headlights. Like maybe you left and you trying to figure out if you need to go back, because I'm thinking no. I'm thinking no. And yeah, we got Four of Wands is on underneath this card, but I'm gonna shuffle down just a minute. Okay, this card tried to drop. Like I said, it's done. They're gonna move it around. The Death card came out in reverse, which means they're gonna move it around. You don't move it, we'll make a move. Because baby, your transition isn't to be bothered, isn't to be messed with, isn't to be hindered. Your transition isn't to be hindered. So this is a person who is spiritually activated as of right now, and they're not going to have your spiritual gifts and all of those things interrupted or corrupted by people who can't keep up, catch up, or don't have those, something about your light dimming. They're not letting you dim your lights for you to stay in that relationship. All right, I'm gonna be done with it, but I need to pull this card because I need to see. Yep. Then again, like I said, burdens, 10 of Wands. You can't carry nobody else's burdens for them. I'm out. I can't do nothing else with this message, baby. They said what they said. They said what they said. Ooh, honey. I'm over here looking like, Lord, who y'all sending me? Because MJ gone. No, and so is Gerald Levert. No. All right, I love y'all. I swear I'll return your energy back to y'all. I just made it down here literally, and I did find this feather on the ground when I pulled up. It was a lot of them, but baby, it's a little muddy down here because it's been raining. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna pick that one up, but it was like some white ones. Oh my God, it's a pretty brown. Oh, it's 3 pretty brown ones over there. Oh, I'm going to get them. Okay, I love y'all. Let me go, because y'all know I'm crazy. Look, they got me calling myself crazy as hell, but I love it. I'm good. Don't worry about that. All right, talk to y'all later. Ooh, did I return y'all energy to y'all? And I love y'all? Okay.